Hi, орой минь тэгэхээр ээлж шинэ нэг лайваараа уулзч байгаа да. Баяртай байна. За би энэ дээр нэг эдит хийх хэрэгтэй юм байна. Энэ бол 20 дахь дугаар. Аа за би RS гэсэн байна. Sessions 7. За тэгэхээр энэ удаа for MGTOW буюу man goes to own way гэдэг сэдвээр дээр явж байгаа. За энэ тэгээд сэдвийг орцгоё. За rise of the incel. Incel гэж байлаа. Incel meaning member of any online community of young men who consider themselves unable to attract women sexually, typically associated with views that are hostile towards men who are sexually Incel гэхээр ер нь юу юм бэ? Онлайн бүлэм эмэгтэй хүнийг чаддаггүй онлайн бүлэм. Тэгээд энэ болохоор эмэгтэйчүүд болон одоо эмэгтэйчүүдэд татдаг эрчүүдийн эсрэг үйл ажиллагаа явуулдаг гэх юм уу тий? Hostile. Одоо эсрүүцэл үзүүлдэг юм бүлэм байна. За окей. There's a subgroup of men that call themselves MGTOW. Truthfully to it's not by choice. Rather, they feel that they can't attract women and haven't done well with them in the past, so they are now an involuntarily celibate man. Celibate man. Celibate meaning. Abstaining from marriage and sexual relation, typically for religious reason. A person who abstains from marriage. Abstaining. Something from the use of the under control with the substance in public stature. Staying. За энэ бол за энэ volunteer celibate. Энэ voluntary meaning done without will or conscious control. Ямар ч өдөрлөхгүй гэсэн үг юм тийм. Онцлоггүйгээр гэр бүлгүй. Сүгээр гэр бүлдэггүй үрчилээ. За the sound bites used by incels online usually sound something like this. Why don't girls like me? I mean, I'm literally a great guy just because I'm not attractive or I don't have money doesn't mean I'm not great to catch. If you are short and skinny, be short and muscles and rich. If you are ugly, be ugly, muscular and rich. Napoleon was only 5'5" tall. 5'5". За 5'5" гэж хэр өндөр вэ? 5 feet гэх баг тий. 5 inches. Зарцоор пүү 5 feet 5 inch гэдэг чинь метр 60 таа юм шүү дээ. Метр 60 таа юм. And Mick Jagger is as ugly as they come. Yet neither of these men had much trouble with women or success in life because they worked their asses off. The saddest thing of all is that at least 27 mass murders in North America alone have been attributed to men that have openly identified themselves as an incel. These men never learned how to handle rejection, learn from their experiences, or accept that they had some work to do on themselves. It's always the fault of others or society for their results in life. Some familiar self-professed incel Alec Minisan posted the following to Facebook shortly before he rented one went on the killing spree in Toronto. Private recruit missing infantry 00010 wishing to speak the sergeant for Chan DC 2324961. The insult rebellion has already begun. We will overthrow all of the chats and stasis. All hail the supreme gentleman Elliot Roger. Nilsson drove his rented one over the curb into sidewalks, killing 10 people and injured 16 more. His reference to chats and stasis is relevant because the frustration was that, and as incels, they can't compete with stronger, more alpha males chats or women stasis that pine for the chats. You think men going their own way would just unplug from society and live their own peaceful life, but instead, appraising has shown us that there's a dangerous subculture to MGTOW. За, инсэлүүд гэж байна. Тэгээ инсэлүүд болохоор энэ бол MGTOW-гийн одоо нэг өөр нэг хөлбөр. Гэхдээ хамаагүй жоохон муу хөлбөр яадаг гэхээр одоо MGTOW бол эрхэн өөрийнхөө замаар амар амарлангаа олж амьдрах бод гэдэг бол инсэлүүд болохоор жоохон хөлсөлтөл та тий. Энэ нь бол victim тий. Сахарч би team тийм учраас бид мэдээчтэй юм татахгүй нэтэр ингээд нэг бонтолдог пари тийм associateтэй хүмүүс нэгдэлчих юм тий. Тийм инсел гэж нэрлэж байгаа юм байна. Энэ нь л одоо буруутгал rejection буюу таталт хүүхдэд таталцсан хариу ингээд авчиддаггүй тэгээ ямар нэг өнгөрснөөсөө суралцдаггүй ямар нэг үргэлжлээ бус төмний буурах байдаг те. Тэгээд энэ дээр болохоор Алек Минсан гэдэг залуугийн нэг болсон явдал гарч байна те. Энэ бичсэн байсан. Тэнгүүтээ энэ шилтага хүмүүсээ замын хажуу руу ороод 10-ны аминд хүрсэн 16-гаар онд бидээсээ гол зорилго нь chats and stasis. Өөрөө тийм байж таг өөрөө сайн байждаг учраас гэдэг юм бас байсан. За better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry. MGTOWs will say that feminism has destroyed the social contract between men and women. It's hard to disagree with that observation, but if you search for chants on YouTube about MGTOW, you'll find pages upon pages of videos with narratives backing these claims up with very well throughout and analytical breakdowns taking factor into passive-aggressive hate movement. Ultimately, persuadable and frustrated men are the target of requirement videos. I happened across a video once by MGTOW explaining that the avoiding marriage isn't not anymore, that feminism had infiltrated civil law to the point that when vindictive women could file domestic violence restraining orders in the US against them a man they weren't living with, and even though they weren't married, she could divorce, rape him, all without proof, without his knowledge, and without a shred of evidence. All women need to do is claim that you are violent, and law will immediately side with them. Scary stuff, right? By the end of such well-presented lectures, they'll have many men incorrectly believing that all women are demons. While I don't disagree with the threat, it's the significance of the threat that I question. Let's dig into the math used. MGTOWs are great with stats. The content creator in the recruitment video provided numbers that suggest there are 900,000 domestic violence restraining order filled every year in the USA, asking how would you, as a man, like to be removed from your house, have your car taken away, and half your stuff gone based on allegations, not evidence. Now, what if women filled those 900,000 restraining orders? While this is unlikely to be the case, for the sake of argument, let's assume all of them were. There are now 325 million people in the US, of which men account for half. That leaves us with 162 and 0.5 million men. We know that about 40 millions of those men are under the age 20, so we can assume that there are 122.5 million men that might have been exposed to this potential trade with the women. Remember in the recruitment video, the man isn't living with anyone else and is only dating women on an exclusive basis. That's 7% of the male population. That's statistically insignificant. Let's put that into perspective. According to data from the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention and individual American drivers are dying as a result of injuries in an automobile crash, which includes pedestrians, bicyclists, and motorcyclists involved in car crashes comes out around 1 in 77. That works out 1.29%. The vast majority of the population can go through life without dying in car accident. However, MGTOWs are telling men that it is so great that all men should now completely avoid half of the population or just get a dog. За тэгэхээр юу болоод өгч вэ? За тэгэхээр статистик мэдээлэл яваад байна те. Эмэгтэйчүүд бас яг яадаг. Эмэгтэйчүүд бол хэрэгтэй өнгөдөх бод. Тэгээд эмэгтэйчүүд domestic violence гэр бүлийн хүчирхийлэл тэгээд ингэдэг 900 мянга гаруй жил бүр 900 мянган гэр бүлийн хүчирхийлэл бүртгэгддэг. Тэгээд Америк нэгдсэн улс 325 сая гуамтай энэ тал нь эрэгтэйчтэй. За энэ 40 мянган бол хайраас доош насныхан. Тэгээ ер нь бол тэгээд яаж эрэгтэйчүүдийн эдийн хувь яаж нас бардаг. Тэгээ чи ерөөсө доол сонгох уу эсвэл хүн амын доол сонгоод хүн амын талаас нь цогтох уу үгүй юу гэж тийм. Conclusion. Personally, I don't care what you do with your time or where you stick your dick. A prostitute, doll, your hand, or a hot woman. I'm not famous for this, but I do have a problem with it's other men, and I need to for help being misled by people so they can sell snake oil to them, weaponizing them to hate half societies before selling them silicone dolls to have sex with for $2,000-3,000. Granted, men have the burden of performance, women just need to show up and look pretty, but the MGTOWs appear to want the women stop playing a game that truthfully no man can ever fully check out of. Unless you live in a cabin in the woods with no connection to society, you will always be caught in the wheels of the primary social order. Even MGTOW scratch their itch by using sex dolls are part of the feminine imperative. They likely work with women and probably also buy products and services facilitated by women. Hell, even their sex doll that looks like a perfect 10 keeps them tied to the feminine social. The only proper solution is to do the work in life so you become high value, make yourself be your own mental point of origin, learn how to handle rejection like an adult. Always be the one responsible for the board control, learn how to spot dangerous personalities, and finally understand what drives distraction, game, and how to limit your risk in hostile sexual marketplace. If you allow a woman into your life, there it's imperative that she's complement to their life, not a focus. It's incumbent on you to stay on your purpose in life, constantly chasing excellence with a genuine belief of outcome independence. Look, disconnecting from women might be an interesting place to visit for a short while if you get divorced or have had your heart broken, but it's hardly a solution to living in a world where half of the population are women. The cold hard truth: never forget. Temporarily stepping out of sexual marketplace is only valuable if you have just gotten out of a shitty divorce or relationship, taking some time out to chase excellence and to level up in multiple areas in your life will definitely pay off for you. Just make sure you're receptive to the increase in high quality women that make themselves known to you now. You are a man of higher value. Remember, 70% of women want the time and attention of top 20% of men chasing excellence will easily, but you in the top 20%, what you with your options when you get there, well, that's entirely up to you. Have fun. Black belt MGTOW think is very nihilistic and unhealthy for your mental and emotional state. Men and women can certainly complement each other in life. Not all women are men-hating third wave feminists, but you need to know how to pin the diamonds in that rope. Finally, hypergamy is simply accept it, embrace it, keep the script, and start using hypergamy to your advantage. За, black pill, red pill, blue pill гэж байгаа. Black pill гэж байна. Black pill бол тий нэг бас өөрөө тусгаарлагддаг. Actually black pill гэж нэрлэдэг тий. Эмгтэж гэдэг өөр тусгаарлагддаг. Тэгээ энэ бол мэдээж mental ер нь бол эрүүл мэндэд муу тий. Mental тий. Тэгээ ер нь бол эмгтэй хүний байгалийн дээр hypergamy байдлыг нөлөө зөвшөөрөө. Тэгээд нэг нь өөртөө даваа байлаа ашигла эмгтээчдийн 70% топ тий 20 хамгийн тийм барил 20% эрэхтэй татагддаг. За яг ном дээр тэгэл сайн хурцсан хэсэг дээр чиний өөрөө чинь сонголт л гэж байна. Sex тол аваад амьдрах эсвэл нийгэм рүү орох уу гэж. So, why smart men avoid marriage? Let me start by starting. I'm not opposed to marriage or having a family. We are just slightly higher from the primate, and make no mistake, as men, we are designed to scatter and pass down our seed. It's in our biological imperative. I am, however, against allowing the state of decide what happens to your will, to your freedom, and your access to your children if a marriage doesn't work out. The divorce statistics vary slightly around the world, but on a balance of probabilities, about half of all marriage end in divorce within 7 years. Remember, the statistic ignores the other half of the men who are either living in happy or sexless marriage. In the study by Ezewit and Aaron on both romantic love and long-term relationship, they discovered that only 13% of their participants in an average of an 8.39-year relationship felt romantic love and only 2% felt obsession for each other, meaning the chances of living in a state of bliss for eternity aren't particularly good in marriage. It's a man and not the parent who is often left in ruins, with him picking up their pieces after the couple goes through the relentless grind of the divorce machine before being spit out the other side. Throughout the story may have always been a disposable sex in agreement that protected sex, so it would make sense they retain family love today favors the women while being hostile towards men. It's time to drop some cold-hearted bombs about the reality of marriage in today's Western world. Marriage is high reward, low risk choice for women, but a low reward, high risk choice for men. Richard Cooper said that. I should clarify in this chapter that when I say Western family law, I am including all first world modern countries indoctrinated by today's version of feminism. Throughout most of history, men were at the head of the household. They were legally responsible for the actions of their spouse and children and could keep order in their home by more or less whatever means they saw fit. If a man's home was his castle, and then everyone within was his vassals. No one knows exactly when and where the tablets began to turn, but things started changing in the late um, 18, 18,000s, where 1800s, when the state passed new laws. For example, 1889 by London passed a by-law prohibiting wife beating past 9 p.m. However, this wasn't designed to protect women. It was primarily a noise pollution issue in the densely populated city. In Stephanie Kant's book A History of Marriage, she concluded that for tens of thousands of years, people married not for love but for the acquisition of in-laws, assets and influence. Church records, personal diaries, and public court records showed law wasn't even part of the equation. May had a thousand percent authority and 100,000% responsibility to family in it. Family and their in-laws took care of medical care, law enforcement, and elderly schooling, and so on. Men were the head of the household, and there was little to no state involvement in how a man ran his family. This was a time when masculine virtues were both respected and valued, but in the last 150 years, a toxic version of progressive feminism has changed it all. Toxic feminism has just reversed the roles, so both women and the state are now at the head of household. Today's men no longer have authority in their house, yet they still have 100% of the responsibility. Almost all the authority has been taken away from men and has been given to both the government and women, while men maintain all the financial responsibility. What is even more troubling is that with the recent #MeToo era, something as fundamental as establishing that facts first is no longer required. Instead, we are to believe all women when they accuse men by default. No questions asked. Family law. When I was getting divorced in Canada, I thought I knew what the process would look like, but truthfully, I had no idea what I was up against. I approached divorce with a navy eye, viewing it as a simple process with a fair exit for everyone. Every expectation I had was way off. In fact, I was did wrong. Within the first hour I talked to my family lawyer, he had dropped so many truth bombs on me that I walked away from the call with a feeling of complete helplessness. I actually believed I'd be lucky to see my daughter ever again, that I spent the rest of my life bending at the knee to the state and my ex-wife, while I simply watched as my world left me and I became alienated from my child. I'll never forget my lawyer's word: if you have a fence and go to court, you are going to lose, and badly. Badly. I was shocked. Hadn't feminism leveled the playing field for women? Aren't women equal to men? If so, then why am I being told that because I was born with penis I would lose by default in family court? They say the original intent of progressive change to family law was to deal with deadbeat dads who didn't look after their kids right. Well, it did. And then it kept going on, becoming a supremacist movement against men, which hasn't ever stopped. In today's world, women are the supreme rules in both their household and in family law. Western governments decide they are part of uh, legislation to preserve and improve the mother's interests while simultaneously destroying the fathers in Western family law for one gender, the female, to advance its cause. It comes at the expense of the other gender, the male. If you are considering marriage, then the best thing you can do is buy 1 hour of local family lawyer's time. Sit down, listen well, and learn how the law handles men in your state of province because there's a 50% or more chance your marriage will end in the divorce. Remember, this divorce statistics doesn't take into account the people who remain married because they are too unattractive, broken, lack the option to leave, or simply because they are cowards. It's nearly impossible to calculate the number of unhappy marriages that persist. Okay. За тэгэхээр domestic violence charge a women's stamp card энэсийг уншаад өнөөдөр тусгая да. За domestic violence charge alleged by the энэ үг харъя та. Alleged alleged by the mother against the father is stamp card which has been built into Western family law. Men can be forcibly removed from their own homes by the police for pause or it's execrated, execrated, exaggerated, exaggerated claims of domestic violence, exaggerated. It also includes being alienated from their children while the court imposes unreasonable payments to the mother from the father, in turn restraining you from entering the house you paid for or accessing the children you fathered. I had a coaching call once with a man who was cheated on by his wife several times, so he decided he had enough and that it was time to divorce her. During the acrimonious separation period, he became upset with her one day and pointed the finger at her face and angrily proclaimed, "You are a fucking liar." The finger pointing was enough for her to call the police, make a claim of domestic violence, and have the authorities involved. There was no violence, no physical contact, nothing, just an angry finger being pointed while saying 5 words. It's absolutely vital, and you always keep in mind the following phrase: the woman you marry is never the same woman you divorce. Remember, Western family law is written in such a way that it assumes women are the weaker sex, men are the privileged sex, and are also the abused sex by default. За гэрлэлт ер нь ямар зорилгоор болохыг батлаа байлаа тий. Одоо бариад. Тэгээд юу болсон юм эмхтэй хүнд салалт давуу талтай, эрэгтэй хүнд болохоор хууль эрэгтэй хүний эсрэг байдаг. Тэгээд ямар зүйлээс болоод тэгээд зүгээр л domestic violence тий. Зүгээр л хуруугаад чичээд тий. You are fucking liar гэсэн чинь шууд хатад дуудаал that's fucking domestic violence тий. Өөрт нь юу болсон? Modern world гэх western барууны хууль эрэгтэй хүний эсрэг 1800-аад онд бол ерөөхдөө эрэгтэй хүний тал байсан тий. Өсөөс хойш тий эхнэрээ зодж болохгүй гэх хууль байсан тий. Яа гэхдээ яг энэ бол эмэгтэй хүнийг хамгаалах талаас биш энэ зүгээр л нэг чимээ гарахгүй амгалан тайван байх үүднээс юм бол байсан. Тэгээд сүүлийн 150 жилд болохоор бүх юм өөрчлөгдсөн. Эмэгтэй хүний талд бүгжүүлсэн яагаад гэвэл эмэгтэй хүн эрэгтэй хүнээс сул тийм учраас хууль эмэгтэй хүний талд эрэгтэй хүн одоо хүчтэй хүйс учраас хууль эрэгтэй хүний эсрэг байдаг. Яг гэрэлтүүдийн 50% залдаад бусдыг үлдсэн 50% нь одоо бас ингээд төгс байх нь үнэхээр сайн гэрэлт байдаг. Эсн эргэлзээтэй 2% л тэгээд нэг тийм гоё байдаг гэсэн тэгээд юм бацсан л та. За ном маань дуусахад ерөндөө өгч юм. Тэгээ энэ удаа өнөөдөр дуусахгүй. Яагаад вэ гэвэл одоо би дацгал хийх хэрэгтэй. Өстой. Тэгээд бүх мэдээлэл амар л тиймээс өнөөдөр тусгая маргааш бараг дуусах баха намаа тэгж бодож байна. За тэгээд энэ хүртэл хамт байсан баярлалаа. Дараа маргаашийн номны уншлагаараа уулзталтаа түр баяртай. За сайн амраа.